Hello there, welcome to the module 3 of our effective communication class. And for this particular edition, we are talking about identifying the do's and don'ts of effective communication. Yes, there are rules to the game. The interesting thing is everything in life comes with rules. Yes, even your making of eba does have rules. Would you rather pour the garri into a pot and put it on the fire and then pour water? Or would you rather follow the rule, boil water first and pour the garri when it is fully boiled and then turn it? Everything in life has its own rules. The first rule of effective communication we will be discussing is you have to be clear and very concise. You cannot say something as unclear and ambiguous and expect the listener to get your point. For example, rather than say, I am quite confused about your behavior. I am not sure if I like it or not. You should rather say, this type of behavior is very confusing. I think you need to change. Rather than pointing out a particular thing in so many ways and then you end up confusing the listener, you should rather say it in as clear a manner as possible. And that has to do with your choice of words. What kind of words do you use when you're passing your message across? Ambiguous words, very big, nonsensical language, or you simply make it simple and make it clear. Now, when you are speaking and you want to be listened to, you want people to hear you, you need to look them in the eye, eyeball to eyeball. Now, in a public setting or in a public gathering, when you're having a conversation, one of the things that you learn to do is to choose, I have a rule, I choose 3 anchor persons. One to my left, one in the middle, another to the right. And make sure these 3 people are widespread across the room such that I maintain eye contact with the one on the left, and then I move to my far right, and then I center back to the middle. That way, I command and I work the room every time I turn my head. I maintain eye contact to eye contact and then to eye contact. Eye contact is one of the ways to tell your listener that you understand and you're sure of what you're saying. It means you speak to them in as clear a manner as possible, but you also speak to them with direct contact to their eyes. Communicate with them your confidence. Communicate with them your truth. Communicate with them the fact of the matter only by looking them eyeball to eyeball. When you turn away, you're talking and you're looking down, or you're talking and you're fidgeting and you're looking down, you're turning to the side. Everywhere else, you avoid eye contact. You think you are displaying some measure of timidity, but that's also a sign that the person who is speaking may be lying. Actually, it is a sign of a telltale, someone who is not speaking the truth. If you are sincere about what you're saying, as uncomfortable as it may be to look the listener in the eye, you should actually do it. That is the only way to tell them you're confident. Now, when you're being spoken to, you need to listen. Many speakers lack the ability to listen. We listen more when we are being scolded. And even then, we argue. But if you want to be an effective communicator, an effective speaker, you should learn to listen. And when you listen actively. One of the ways to listen is also to look the person speaking in the eye with rapt attention. with total concentration. You're looking at the person. Your facial expression tells the person she heard what I said, or she's doubting what I said, or she's doubting what I want to say, or she's confused a little about what I'm saying, or she's very sure of what I'm saying. She's happy about what she's hearing. These many emotions can be communicated to the listener only, to the speaker, only by listening. As an effective communicator, you must learn the art of listening. Listening does nothing for you other than inform you of what needs to be done next, other than inform you of what the person is truly saying. A friend of mine would say, there's the above the line, there is what you're saying, and there is the below. Every time I speak to you, there is something I am saying, but there are many things I am also not saying. From listening to the person, you get to know what they are not saying. You get to find out those extra things that they're keeping to themselves that they're not saying simply by listening. Because even though they're not saying it with their words, they may be saying it with their language. They may throw in one extra word or there or two into that conversation that tells you the entire story. And meanwhile, you never expected that they will talk to you in that manner. So yes, listening actively is one of the most effective ways to become an effective public speaker or communicator. Now, would you rather speak, no, stop it? Or would you rather say, no, I think you should stop? Same words, different tones. You must use a very subtle and soft, respectful tone when you're passing your message across. You don't want to be on the stage, commanding your stage and speaking to your listeners and saying to them, you people dare not. You dare not. You can simply say, you would not want to do that. Soft spoken, but message passed. Your tone must be respectful. Your tone must be sure. Your tone must be direct, but your tone must be careful. The tone with which you deliver your message must differ. Yorubas will say, Bele, Olako, Olabo. It simply means sorry has the female version and the male version. And that is translating it literally. What it's simply saying is, every time you say sorry, it means different things to different people, male and female, sometimes even among the same sex. The way you put your sorry across could mean something entirely different from what you say. So would you rather say sorry, or would you say sorry, or you'd say I'm sorry? I'm sorry. Your language matter. Your tone does the trick. Your expression, eye to eye, tells a message, and your clear words. I would have loved to apologize to you, but I'm not particularly sure what I'm even apologizing for. Come on. You simply wanted to say, I am sorry. Three magical words, which you can say in diverse ways, and it would mean different things. And last but not least, amongst the do's of effective communication, you must be mindful of your body language. You cannot be saying, I am sorry. Do I look sorry? Or you say, it doesn't matter. Does it look like it doesn't matter? My body language, my words, which you heard, said it doesn't matter. But my body language told you it really does matter. So when I'm saying it doesn't matter, I'm saying, no, it doesn't matter. I'm serious. It really doesn't. You get the message. But when I say it doesn't matter, don't worry. Oh, no, it's okay. It doesn't matter. Obviously, I am communicating more than the words it doesn't matter. That's it for do's. Let's talk about the don'ts. You shouldn't interrupt when someone is speaking. You should try, in the middle of an argument, it is very difficult to stay in one place, to listen actively and not interrupt when someone is speaking to you. It's very difficult. But it is what we must do. You learn not to interrupt when the other person is speaking. You must learn to listen. It's uncomfortable. The person is being erroneous. This person is speaking in fallacy. But you must listen. You can't afford to interrupt the person. You want them to get it out. You can take your time correcting the notion, but let them get it out first. Now, you mustn't use aggressive or rude language. And that's simply the example of, no, it doesn't matter. No, 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 no. Wait, wait, wait. Many of us are too aggravated when we're talking. We're too angry. Very rude. And that's why I talked about respect. Very rude. Very condescending. There is no one you speak to in a condescending manner, whether inferior to you in your own eyes, younger than you in age, below your status as a person, below your economic status, as a family, as a people. You must not speak condescendingly to anyone. They're human beings, flesh and blood. So why should you speak to them condescendingly? You shouldn't. Every single person deserves respect. When I started this class about 2 weeks ago, I discovered that I was speaking particularly fast. Today's episode, I am intentionally slow. Why? Because we have gotten to a critical point in this course where every single thing being said must be heard and not misheard. You must not be too slow or too fast as an effective communicator. You must ensure that what you're saying is as loud as possible while you're not shouting. You must make sure you're saying it with the right emotion. You're not angry. So you don't have to be aggravated unnecessarily. You must make sure you're not speaking with any form of animosity. Too slow is a problem. Too fast is a bigger problem. The most important one is just speaking as you. You must assume that people understand you without confirming. Sometimes it is borderline rude or even insultive for you to be talking to people in your peer group, or maybe talking to people who should be able to think, and then you just continue to assume they didn't hear you, or they don't know what they're saying, or they don't know what you're saying. No. Every time you speak to people, you must understand that they heard you. You must assume that they heard you and they understand you. Because with maturity comes the ability to say, I don't understand. Nobody's going to beat you for it. Oh, I don't get you. Nobody will question you for it. You are permitted as an adult at a particular level in life to own your stage, own your language, own the process. Nobody holds you back. So you must ensure that you do not unnecessarily repeat what was being said. Don't doubt. If they didn't hear you, they will complain about it themselves. And last but not least, you must not ignore the importance of feedback. You see, one of the biggest things, a favor we can do for ourselves as individuals on this planet Earth, is to make sure we receive feedback. You see, feedback is the stuff life is made of. Feedback. Feedback. When you're doing well, feedback. When you're not doing well, feedback. When you're behaving nastily, feedback. When you're not behaving nastily, feedback. When you need something, feedback. When you're asking for something, feedback. It is very important to prioritize feedback at all times. So I would like you to begin by giving me feedback on this particular class. How effective was it? Did you enjoy it? Do you have questions? That will be your first class activity for today. The second class activity for today is to give me a typical example of a do of effective communication and a don't of effective communication. Makes it 3 assignments. Tell me the scene of a do for effective communication and a don't for effective communication. And lastly, you also make sure to give me a scenario, an example of the do and don'ts of communication. Just give me one example, back it up with facts, and let's discuss some more. That brings us to the end of today's Module 3 class. Our course is effective communication. I hope you're learning a lot. My name is Tomisin Adebukola. I'll see you next week. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button as you go through this. Bye.